If you've just been staring at a blank page and you're forcing yourself to write music and get creative and you're just not feeling it, then this one's for you. Creative blocks happen to everyone, and the worst thing you can do is just guilt yourself to push yourself through it. So today I'm talking about what you can actually do when the creativity is just not there, it's not flowing, and how you can stay consistent without burning yourself out. Rest isn't laziness, and this is actually something I've had to teach myself over the past few years. I used to be one of the worst people for this, where I would be burnt out and I would just be punishing myself for feeling burnt out by constantly trying to work through it and to go, well, if I don't work through it, I'm failing. Or if I don't work through it, I'm not going to achieve the goals that I'm setting out to achieve today. And it's really important that you don't do that, because what can really help is having a bit of a rest, switching your mind off, doing something that you enjoy doing. And that's not to say you don't enjoy making music. Of course you do. It's why you're here. It's why we're all here. We enjoy making music, but not 24/7. All the time. And when you're being told you need to create content all of the time to put it out there on social media to promote your music, guess what? That is also burning out your creative brain. So all of a sudden, you're taking the creativity you should be focusing on making music, and you're being told you have to use it to think of different ideas to promote your music. Sometimes our brains just need a bit of a reset, especially when we've been sat and we've been creating loads. It's hard work and it makes our brains get really tired. But what makes your brain get more tired is A, either guilt tripping yourself to go, well, I shouldn't be tired, I need to do more, or B, actually trying to make the time to rest, to do other things that you really enjoy, but what you're then doing is guilt tripping yourself again, and you're feeling guilty about resting, because then your brain's not resting, it's not switching off. All it's doing is beating itself up all of the time. And then once you've done that, you're going back into creative mode, going, wicked, all right, I've had a rest now, so I should be all good. But you're not, you haven't had a rest. And your brain is constantly tripping over itself saying, you're not doing enough here. You need to be doing more. You shouldn't be resting. You shouldn't be doing these other things you enjoy. What you should be doing is creating music or creating content. And that is just not how you rest. It's not benefiting you in any way at all. So how do we refill our creative tanks? Well, it just depends what you like doing. So for me, I love going out for a walk. I love taking my dog out. It's lovely. I also enjoy catching up on like some of my favorite series. So I'm a big like WWE fan. So I will sit and catch up with that. And I've really had to train myself, like I said before, to not beat myself up over doing it, to enjoy the things you enjoy and to have that rest that you really, really deserve. So you might enjoy playing video games, you might enjoy going out for a run. All these little things that you enjoy are so important, as is being creative. But you owe it to yourself and your creativity to switch off sometimes, because we can't just keep going. It's like driving a car and just never filling the tank, or even waiting for the tank to empty and empty and empty, get right to the bottom where you're at that real dangerous point where you're scraping it along to get to somewhere to refuel. That's what you're doing. But then by resting and making yourself feel guilty about it, what you're doing is you're only filling that tank up again to about a quarter of the way, and very, very quickly it's depleting again. So make sure you're doing things that you enjoy and really, really try and make a conscious effort to try and get through that guilt, because it's the guilt that's really stopping you from resting. Try this. Instead of beating yourself up over the fact that you're doing something to rest so you can come back to your creativity later and be that creative person you know you can be, have a look at it and go, well, actually, if I don't do this, then I should feel guilty, because what I'm doing is I'm trying to approach being creative, making music or making content or whatever it is that you're trying to do, and I'm not doing it to my full 100% capacity. And not only is that an injustice onto me, that is an injustice onto my fan base who are waiting for new music. And you're making music on a quarter or half a tank rather than resting, getting yourself to that full tank and then hitting the accelerator at full throttle and going and making stuff that you know is good. If you don't rest, you're just going to be putting out music or content or whatever it is, knowing that you could have done better, and you will constantly then feel guilty for doing that, and you'll be beating yourself up over that, rather than if you'd have just taken that hour or 2 hours or evening or whatever it was that you needed to rest and reset. You could have put something out that is right at the top of your potential. Being consistent does not mean make content or make music every day, no matter what, no matter how bad I'm feeling. What it means is sometimes you have to compromise with the energy levels that you have. So if you're having a bit of a low energy day, instead of filming something that is taught to camera, that takes up a lot of energy, where you have to like remember some bullet points or a script, and that takes up a lot of our mental energy, you can just try posting like a casual voice note. If you're having one of those days and you're trying to make music as well, you can either just stop, or if you've got something, a little bit of inspiration in your head, whether it be like a vocal melody or like a riff or something, get that down and then go, cool, there we go, I'm done. That's as much as my energy allows. If you have these ideas in your head, then great. That means your brain is saying, I've got this little bit of energy that I can put into creating something. But if you don't try and force something out there, because it just doesn't work like that. We all know it, and we all know that when we try to create something, when we're running on fumes, that it just doesn't work, that we can do so much better. So instead of trying to force ourselves into creativity when we're just not feeling it, what we should do is rest and take it easy. And just know that we're having a little bit of a low energy day, and just do as much as we can or as little as we want to. And if we are feeling that little bit of energy, like I said, if you've just got this riff or a vocal line or something running through your head, then fine, get it down. But then don't go, cool, now I've got to make a whole song over this. Because you know that amazing idea that you've had might then turn into something that's not very good. So just remember, you are not lazy, you're just human. We all get it, we all feel burnout, we're not machines. Trust me, this is another thing I've had to learn recently, because I've always gone, why can't I do more? Why can't I sleep less? And now I'm just accepting the fact that I can't, and that's okay. And instead of beating myself up all the time over not doing enough, I'm going, let's do what I can. And if my brain, if my body is just not feeling it, then I'm just going to stop. I'm going to have some guilt-free rest, because I know, let's say it's middle of the week or even start of the week, I know that if I just take the hours or the day or the evening or whatever time period it is that I need, that I can come back for the rest of the week, full throttle, let's go. I know I'm going to create some of the best stuff that I've created. You and I know that creativity always comes back as long as we're taking a bit of a rest and a bit of a down period. And the main focus here is just to not quit before it comes back, or to not sit feeling guilty that it's not there anymore, because all you're doing is prolonging that period of tiredness. On the bonus tier over on Patreon today, I've made a creative reset toolkit. And on there, we're going to go through ways to refill your creative tank, a list of things you can try doing when you're low on energy, burnout warning tracker, and we're going to reframe some of the guilty thoughts that we get in our head when it comes to resting. Thank you so much for watching today. If you're over on YouTube, please make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell, because it just means we can get more of this stuff out to artists that need it. And that's what I'm here to do. I just want to help as many people as I can. But however it is that you're consuming this, thank you so much for checking it out. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you have a fantastic day.